name is Naome Chakanya. I am from Zimbabwe and I work for the Research Institute of the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions. And the name of that research institute is called Labor and Economic Development Research Institute of Zimbabwe, LEDRIZ in short.
Could you tell us about wage theft in Zimbabwe?
Wage theft, for us, we define it as it is defined in international instruments, which basically means the non-payment of wages and salaries, and also part payment of wages and salaries. So we discovered that in Zimbabwe it was becoming a huge problem, but we didn't know the magnitude of it. So in 2016, we did a survey to try and understand the magnitude of this wage theft in Zimbabwe and the implications that it was having on the workers in Zimbabwe.
How many workers were concerned?
Okay, from our research findings, we interviewed about 40 companies and from different sectors, and we found that more than 80,000 workers were affected by wage theft, which means they were either not getting their salaries but going to work every day, or they were getting their salaries in part payments. And we discovered that all sectors were affected, actually.
How did workers fight, and especially how women also participate to this fight against wage theft?
Okay, so what we did with that survey, we gave it, because we're a research institute for ZCTU, we gave it to ZCTU so that they can undertake various programs in order to campaign for decent living, which also includes the issue of getting your payment as wages and as salaries which you are entitled to. So what ZCTU did is that they ran a campaign across Zimbabwe demanding that employers pay workers their statutory obligations, which are their wages and salaries, because that non-payment, that wage theft, was causing a lot of social and economic consequences, negative consequences for the workers. So one major outcome that came through the research findings was that the women in Hwange, there is a company called Hwange Colliery Company, which is a mining company which mines coal in Hwange. Workers at that premise, at that company, had gone for about five years without getting paid their wages and their salaries, but they were still demanded by their employer to be coming to work every day. So the women spouses, they organized themselves, because eventually it is the women that suffer at the end of the day when the husband is not coming with any salary at work. They have to feed the children, they have to clothe the children, they have to wash the clothes for the children. All that needs money. They have to take care even of those same husbands who are going to work. They have to cook for them, and all this requires money. So the brunt of the crisis was being borne by the women. So they self-organized themselves and went to demonstrate at this company. Well, the husbands were failing to demonstrate on their own because of the high level of victimization that was at that company. So it had to take a force outside that company to demand and to demonstrate and to demand the rights of their spouses. So it was a long struggle for the women. They spent almost 120 plus days camped at the premises. And when the women rose up, ZCTU came forward in solidarity with these women, because it was part of the campaign that ZCTU had been undertaking to say employers are offering the workers indecent work. So the workers supported these women, they organized these women, they even then organized the the employers, their husbands, into union, and they became unionized. And it was not only ZCTU which came on board, other human rights organizations came on board, other women's organizations came on board. So at the end, it was a big campaign which was national, and it had to, and then because of that, it attracted a lot of attention even to the presidential level. So this is how we are seeing some of our results, and this is one way of showing that this is what we have been telling the companies, that they have to pay the workers. And because of that commotion and because of that campaign, it actually gave us, the trade unions, more strength to even do more campaigns in other companies. And we use that as one of the good practices in terms of demanding decent living.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.